Chris with my Stamp Lady. I'm so glad you're here to stamp with me today. So I am going to be using the Lift Me Up stamp set today and the bundle, which includes the Up and Away framelits or thinlit dies. I did not expect to like this stamp set as much as I do, and I've used it so much, but I'm mostly highlighting this amazing, gorgeous Glimmer paper that has come out in the second half of Stampin' Up Sale-A-Bration. So they have introduced 3 additional products, this stamp set here, which is called Reverse Words, the Glimmer paper, and then the medallion, Make a Medallion set through March 31st. You can choose one of these products free with a $50 purchase from Stampin' Up! Now through March 31st, including the ones that have previously been announced. So go to my blog at mystamplady.com to see more about that. For the background for my card, I'm using Mint Macaron, and this is a 4 1/4 by 11 inch piece of cardstock scored at 5 1/2 inches. And I'm going to use this Seaside folder to make the kind of the airwave look on my card front. So I'm going to run this through my Big Shot to get that embossed. One thing I've noticed with this die is that you do end up with quite a bit of shrinkage on that front. That embossing pulls that paper up and it will leave you with this much space at the bottom. Now if you don't mind how that is, you leave it as is, but I tend to trim it off so that the front and back are equal. So after I've trimmed that off, my card's a bit shorter. So I'm going to set this aside for now. The next step is to do the gorgeous hot air balloon. And I am going to use a bit of the Bermuda Bay Glimmer paper to highlight that balloon. But I'm going to use a piece of Melon Mambo cardstock to cut out my detailed hot air balloon. On the back, I've put a piece of adhesive paper that you can purchase. This one happens to be from Sizzix. And I'm just going to put that on the back, so I'll already have the adhesive on the back side of that balloon. Cut that out. I'm using the magnetic platform with the precision plate. And then I'll put down my cardstock and my die and an acrylic plate. And I will run this back and forth a couple of times just to make sure I've got that all cut out. Now I can just pop out a little foam piece comes with this brush, but I have to be honest, I tend to use it in the air like this more often. I just find it a little quicker. Okay, so pop that out, get any remaining pieces that might be in place popped out. So I've cleaned that out. Now I'm pulling in that piece of Glimmer paper, and actually I'm going to just take the top portion of the sticky back off. Get it started there. And that's because I'm not putting the basket over that sticky paper, so I want to leave that part still covered so that it doesn't stick to something until I need it to. So we'll just pop that off there. It also gives me a nice place to hold that. So let's just place this down, and then I will press that down in place and then just trim that out. And I'll just fussy cut trim that out. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside with the background as I continue to work on that focal piece. Now I have a piece of Whisper White cardstock. You can go to my blog if you want to see all of the dimensions and the supplies that I used at mystamplady.com, and there you'll find the measurements for these pieces, and you can just print them. It's a printable PDF. So I'm going to start, and I'm going to stamp these off a little bit and kind of overhang my background. And then we'll do a few of the smaller clouds. Let them pop out too. And I'm just avoiding this part because the balloon's going to be in that part for the most part. Okay. And then I'll use my fast fuse, and let's just mount that onto a cardstock mat. And this is Bermuda Bay, which will coordinate with that balloon. I would like to make a little banner to go with this. So first of all, since I'm embossing, I'm taking my embossing buddy, I'm going over that with my powder so that it will not stick. The powder won't stick where I don't want it. And let's ink up that, just a note to lift your spirits. And so I need to look overhead here as I'm doing this one. Sprinkle on your powder. Okay, so when you're done with heat setting that, you want to just notch the end here. So I'm actually going to use the triple banner punch, and I flip it over, and although this is only 3/4 of an inch wide, which is too narrow to really use the punch how you're supposed to, I just press it in and make sure that I have both of the corners So then I make sure I have both of those corners lined up with the side edges here and pop that out. And then that comes down for the banner. Okay, so now I can pull in my card base and other pieces, and we will mount this cloud piece first on the background. You can just get that placed on the upper back here. Okay, then I'm going to place this banner, and I'm going to throw a mini glue dot under the notched end, and then the other end I'm actually going to staple to the card front here, so I don't need to worry about putting adhesive under there. Place that, and then just staple down the banner. Now let's bring in that balloon, that glimmer balloon, and then now I'm going to remove that back underneath the basket part. Let's place down our balloon. Then to add just a little bit around the edges here, I'm going to put down a few of the silver metallic sequins around the edges or here, just to draw your eye up and around. And I'll put those down with some of the fine tip glue. So what I like to do is just make a spot on my card front and then just set my sequin right on top. This glue does take a bit. You don't want to obviously squish it out the sides, but you want to make sure you get enough. So you put down kind of a little spot and then put down your sequin, and then it'll pop on top if it doesn't stick to your finger first. There we go. And there is a balloon card with some glimmer ready to send off to somebody. If you have any questions about what I've done, don't hesitate to contact me, Chris, at mystamplady.com, and all of the supplies are available in my online store at shopwithmystamplady.com. Thanks for watching.